Welcome to a Plus Health Life channel. We discuss the ways to fulfill your life with more quality and inform you on ways to get to your life goals with less effort. Please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Best things to do in Cary, NC. A variety of factors come together to make Cary one of America's top cities to live in. On paper, what catches the eye is a low crime rate and centers of education and research nearby. But when you get here, you'll be stunned by the profusion of parks and greenery. In Cary, you'll never be more than a few moments from some woodland, a hiking trail, or boating lake. Culturally, Cary is also a real find, with a massive performing arts complex in a stately building at the heart of the town and an amphitheater that books heavyweight performers throughout the year. 1. Fred G. Bond Metro Park. If you're curious about how Cary ranks so highly among America's most livable cities, this park is a good starting point. It's a relaxing natural space right in the middle of the city where you can be active, collect your thoughts, or take a lazy picnic on a summer afternoon. At the center of the park is Bond Lake with its own public boathouse, and you can wander through the greenery along more than 4 miles of trails. The park's littlest visitors can also have a whale of a time at the Lazy Days playgrounds. 2. Hemlock Bluffs Nature Preserve. By now it should be clear that Cary is a city overflowing with nature and open space. Hemlock Bluffs is an expanse of thick hemlock woodland, so dense and quiet that you'll forget that you're still in the middle of an urban area. The trails are easy to follow and kept free of obstacles, and on your walk you can see remnants dating back to when the countryside here was farmland peppered with mills. For an expert's perspective, head for the Stevens Nature Center for exhibits about the wildlife in the preserve. 3. CMA Booth Amphitheater. Belonging to the city of Cary, this venue is named after one of Cary's former mayors. It sits in Regency Park and puts on an eclectic schedule of live music. So you might find classic rock artists like Styx, Ringo Starr, and Willie Nelson, followed the next week by the North Carolina Symphony celebrating the works of Beethoven, or performing John Williams's soundtracks. The Movies by Moonlight program invites families to pack a picnic to see films both new and old on those long summer evenings. 4. Cary Arts Center. The arts mean a lot to Cary and help carve out its identity. So alongside the amphitheater is this massive facility, combining a 393-seater theater for drama and ballet with gallery space, rehearsal areas, and studios for textiles, woodworking, pottery, jewelry, and fine art. In all, there's 48,000 square feet of performance and studio space. For out-of-towners, the Cary Arts Center means art exhibitions and theater performances, or is simply a way to appreciate the city's devotion to its creative communities. 5. Chatham Hill Winery. Proof positive that Cary is an urbane little burg. It even has its own winery, the first in the Research Triangle. It's a compact enterprise that creates wines in the traditional French way with grapes grown only in North Carolina. Their range includes Chardonnay, Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Viognier, and Cabernet Franc. At tasting sessions, you'll get informative and entertaining tidbits from the in-house experts, and if you'd like sit back with a glass of red or white, there's plenty of outdoor seating and tabletop board games. 6. Sri Venkatswara Temple. The Research Triangle has a Hindu minority in the tens of thousands. In 2009, this majestic temple was unveiled to give the community a sense of belonging. The chief architect, Nand Gopal Sakdeva, spent years traveling and researching in India to find the right design, and the highly ornate cement facade was completed with help of 14 artisans brought in specially from South India. Now the temple anchors a thriving South Asian presence in Raleigh, a dazzling community center for people of all backgrounds that even produces a monthly magazine. 7. Apex Community Park. Yet another of Cary's unmatched array of public green spaces, Apex Community Park is just right for whiling away a sunny afternoon. You'll meet dog walkers, joggers, and families out for picnics. Lake Pine is within the park and even has a launching ramp for kayaks and boats, next to a small fishing pier. Bring a ball with you too, as there are soccer pitches, while you can also hire the park's baseball diamond and tennis courts. The youngest visitors have swings, slides and sandpits where they can play to their heart's content. 8. Golf. It's par for the course that an upmarket town like Cary should have 5 golf courses. For visitors, the semi-private Lochmeer Golf Club is the easiest option as the others are private country clubs. Lochmeer is an 18-hole par 71 in woodland that is woven by the waters of Swift Creek. These help to from unusual and interesting obstacles, while many greens are defended by tricky bunkers. Together with the course is a pro shop and driving range, and the club has its own grill restaurant for a satisfying 19th-hole meal. 9. USA Baseball National Training Complex. Fair to claim that Cary is a second home for America's national game. The USA Baseball National Training Complex cost $11 million to construct and is a training center for the national collegiate roster, the women's national team as well as several younger age bands. The complex is made up of 4 MLB-scale fields, with stadium seating and scoreboards. If you feel like seeing a game, then these fields host events throughout the season, from national baseball tournaments to selection tests. 10. The Kerry Theater. Dating to 1946, this was Cary's earliest indoor cinema, but in the decades after its 50s heyday it was sold off and taken over by a number of different businesses, selling clothing, car parts and put to use as a recording studio. Cary is a city that tries to take care of its heritage, and recently the theater was purchased back and renovated, bringing back its original marquee and concession area. It's now an art house cinema showing indie and foreign films but also doubling as a live music venue. 11. Paige Walker Arts and History Center. This delightful Victorian building is listed on the National Register of Historic Places and was completed in 1868 as a hotel for the railroad. In the 1990s, the structure was reconfigured and turned into a museum and arts center for Cary. Nowadays it curates a diverse calendar of performances by local talents, and is also a friendly place for people to meet up or attend evening classes. Pop inside to view an art exhibition and peruse a collection of artifacts, photos and documents that recount the social history of the city. 12. Raleigh. Recently billed by Businessweek as America's best city, Raleigh is a college town with no fewer than 5 centers of higher education. Raleigh's pedigree for learning and self-betterment is underlined by its surfeit of museums. Take the North Carolina Museum of Modern Art, where there's a great ensemble of Renaissance works on display. Other educational attractions in the City of Oaks include the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, the Nature Research Center, with a 10,000-gallon aquarium, and the Marbles Kids Museum, a hands-on science museum with an IMAX theater. Also see Things to do in Raleigh. 13. Greensboro. A short car ride west of Cary is this city that witnessed epic-defining events during the American Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement in the 60s. In April 1865, as the Confederacy was being routed, Greensboro became the last city to hold out against Unionist forces and was the last place that the Confederacy government met. Also vital is the International Civil Rights Center and Museum, housed in a former branch of Woolworths, where in 1964 black students staged a sit-in to protest against the store's whites-only lunch counter. 14. Furniture shopping in High Point. Close to Greensboro is a city that claims to be the furniture capital of the world. Backing up this brag is High Point Market, founded in 1909 and taking place in April and October. It's the world's largest furniture trade show with 2,000 displayers spread across 180 different buildings. As many as 80,000 people come to the shows every 6 months, and the main venue is the Mammoth International Home Furnishings Market, dating to 1923. The organizers claim that if you can't find what you're looking for at the High Point Market, it most likely doesn't exist. 15. Eno River State Park. It may be that you fancy a small adventure in the woodland of Durham County, and there are no better locations than the calm, green banks of the Eno River. This park follows the meandering course of the Eno as it bends through old-growth woodland and past several intriguing historical sites. One of these is an old mill with a water wheel, but if you keep your eyes peeled you'll see the fords that were dug by some of Durham's first European settlers. You can choose between backcountry campsites for seclusion or group camps if you'd like a more congenial night under the stars. Please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.